looks like a picture of Jennifer Valoppi.
That's mine.
Valoppi.
The truth about Jennifer Valoppi, an award-winning journalist who's covered the world. She brings to South Florida a passion for journalism, committed to making...
NBC6 News at 6 starts right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Jose Diaz-Balart.
And I'm Jennifer Valoppi. We begin with some breaking news right now. Chopper 6 is live over the scene of a report tonight. And at this hour, police are searching the area around the attempted robbery scene for several suspects that they believe are armed and dangerous. In Utica, Illinois, 4 people are dead. Some are still missing. Actually, we're told that death toll has now just been up to 8 people. There has been the collapse of a basement tavern, and Brian Moore is joining us live with some of the latest. And Brian, we understand the death toll has just increased by 4 people, that 4 bodies were recovered. Was that from the tavern? Hormel isn't the only food company to raise prices. You may notice higher costs from producers of milk, beef, and pork. Rob Reynolds tells us why you'll have to pay more to put food on the table this summer. And now we move on to a tragic accident in Miramar. A mother lost control of her van. It ended up in a canal. She got out safely, but her 5-year-old son did not. Anna Cuervo joins us live from Hollywood with the details. And the ink is barely dry on the deal for the Broward Sheriff's Office to take over the city of Parkland's police department. And already tonight, there's evidence that the Sheriff's Office isn't necessarily holding up its end of the bargain. Sun Sentinel reporter Raylene Story shows you the picture that has 5 deputies so far in hot water. Nice to see that up arrow for a change, huh? Runny nose, watery eyes, sneezing. Why do a growing number of people now suffer from allergies? Well, for the answer, we're going to go out to our Miami studios. Health and family reporter Diana Gonzalez is also going to tell us about a new use for Botox, Diana. But General, how do we help to rebuild a country if we can't ensure the safety of civilians working there doing the building?
We have to have a significant, aggressive military presence.
Is the Iraqi police force really going to be the answer for us, though? It's very difficult, it seems, to tell if the Iraqis are really on our side or not, even the ones that are working with us sometimes. I'm sure he invented that. I mean, clearly, no one's ever said that before.
No,
certainly not to you or me or anything like that, right?
Ever. There's an echo in my head. I've heard it so many times. But anyway.
Well, you know what they say in this business. If you're never fired, you're ignored, right?
That's true.
Besides the Donald, the other name that's been synonymous with the headlines lately is Jackson.
And I've been calling you Dr. Valoppi all day because on Saturday you received quite an honor. As a matter of fact, the only South Florida anchor to be given a doctorate, an honorary doctorate by St. Thomas University.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you.
For all the stuff you do in South Florida, which is a lot.
Well, I call you Dr. Valoppi. As a matter of fact, not only can you, you have to. That's the new requirement for our friendship, right?
For you. We wrap things up for the news. Thank you for watching. We have a lot more coming up.
Oh, Lonnie. First of all, I think I've decided with Lonnie, if anybody wants him to come out and cover their events, they have to come up with an outfit for him to wear, because he doesn't wear anything that requires normal business clothes. That was great. Anyway, after Hurricane Andrew, few areas were left in more disarray than the aviary at Miami's Metro Zoo. Jackie, now, your email really speaks to the heart and soul of our democracy, as well as the heart and soul of the issues that we face every day here as journalists. You know, pictures sway public opinion. We certainly know that, and we certainly do not take that responsibility or that power lightly. We got our gang out here.
John Garaldi joins us.
John, you've gotten taller. It's all about turning obstacles into opportunities.
Founded by NBC6 anchor Jennifer Valoppi and NBC6 president and general manager Don Brown, Women of Tomorrow has distinguished itself among mentoring organizations as one of the finest in the country and has twice been recognized on the floor of the U.S. Congress.
Commitment to the community.
Madam Speaker, I ask that my colleagues join me in congratulating Jennifer, Don, and NBC6, and indeed all of the Women of Tomorrow.
A lot of people know about acupuncture for pain and stuff like that, but he's actually going to go show us how to get a facelift with acupuncture. So I'm in already.
Oxygenate yourself, breathe deeply, think about
feeling
positive
very
things.
oxygenated and zen. Thank you so much, Dr. Philippe, doctor of Oriental Medicine, right? Yes. Nice to have you here, and I don't know, what hairstyle do you think? Yeah.
You won't eat raw steak, but you'll have people put needles in your face and on your head and in your wrists.
Anytime. I love it.
I just want to make sure I get this straight.
But Tara, the important part now is what hairstyle goes with these needles. So the answer to your email, Carlo, why is he free, is that he's basically served the time for what he's done and for what he's been convicted of anyway. But I think you want more. So I went a little deeper. I called Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart. I also spoke with Cuba expert Paul Crespo with the University of Miami to try and get some perspective on all this. And the bottom line is that everyone agrees the world was a very different place in the 1960s and 70s than the post 9/11 world. Or as Professor Crespo says, there was a war against communism going on, and Miami was very much a part of that battleground. It was a different time and a different sensibility. I hope that answers your question, Carlo. And Tony, the war on terror has forced the federal government to crack down on illegal immigrants, especially those with criminal histories. From our air and seaports to our neighborhoods, authorities are on the lookout, and we were there when they made a big bust today. Here's Willard Shepard. He's live with the tape from inside that takedown. Despite the elevated terror alert, South Florida is getting ready for a big weekend. Tens of thousands of people are expected to pack several major events, including the Miami International Boat Show and the Washington Mutual Coconut Grove Arts Festival. It not only means a lot of people and a lot of traffic, but also a lot of security, as you can imagine. Hank Tester is joining us live now from Miami Beach with more. How's the security over there, Hank? Can you spell extension? That's what a lot of people are doing tonight.
I know there's an X in it.
That's right. Well, if you crank up, get this, if you crank up your car stereos on South Beach, you could find yourself in jail. Miami Beach Mayor David Dermer says he's going to crack down on all the loud music. The mayor has asked police to start arresting people who blare music from their car stereos. About 100 residents have complained so far about the noise problems at city meetings in recent weeks, and obviously they're getting action.
All of a sudden, there was just a wave of shattered glass, and there was a car, and it hit us, and it was chaos.
Please leave. EMTs have to get through here.
A car accelerates through the window of a post office. The elderly driver hit the gas pedal instead of the brake, hitting pregnant Ruby Corey and pinning her toddler under the car.
Don't let the baby move anymore.
Do you remember what happened? All of a sudden, this big car was there?
Uh-huh.
Were you scared?
It's a big young car.
A big long car?
Uh-huh.
The car didn't stop and it kept going.
82-year-old Leonard Borak injured 10 people. We see similar accidents with older drivers in the news. Experts say mile for mile they are the most dangerous drivers, especially after age 80. So last month a new law kicked in requiring a vision test for drivers over 79. State Representative Irv Schlossberg sponsored the bill. Why aren't we doing more?
Well, up until now, it's been called the political suicide bill because so many senior citizens vote.
Is it enough?
No, it's nowhere near enough.
One reason? Well, vision is only a small part of being a competent driver. That's one example of several serious flaws we found in Florida's licensing system. To save money, drivers renew every 6 years, not 4, and can renew twice by phone, mail, or online. You can go 18 years without ever actually visiting a DMV office to test your driving skills. So 80-year-old drivers with proof of adequate vision can go untested until they're almost 100.
When I told them that I wanted to be retested, their first response was to fall on the floor.
Even when seniors do go to the DMV, as 76-year-old Dick Goldstein found, the testing is minimal. After a stroke, he voluntarily went into a DMV office to be tested. A supervisor gave him the basic vision test, and then...
She held out her arms like this, and she said, grab my wrists. So I did. And she says, well, I guess you can hold the steering wheel. Then she said, step on my foot. So I stepped on her foot. And she said, well, I guess you can handle the brake pedal and the accelerator.
We're not doing enough to assess the drivers who should not be on the road, because what we do rather is to wait until there is a crash and we know somebody should not be on the road.
Dr. Jose Guerrer, an expert on old age driving, helped write this new report that concludes the Florida DMV fails to test important aspects of driving. Guerrer believes this is what the state should be doing with elderly drivers. I mean, this really goes fast. A thorough test, measuring cognitive functions, contrast sensitivity, and response time to pinpoint diminishing skills that the elderly often miss while on the road.
You notice that you're not reacting to traffic as you used to. Things look a lot faster, more people honk their horns behind you. There may be a problem there.
You try to look the other way and not recognize the deterioration in a loved one.
Attorney Andy Boros took matters into his own hands after his father's fender bender at age 85. Andy secretly asked the judge to pull his father's license. Did you ever tell your father you had his license pulled?
No.
Why not?
It would have been too hard for me.
People like Andy have never been fully informed about a little-known state program in this nondescript office.
Good morning, Medical Dallas speaking. How may I help you?
Where a relative or anyone can call in to confidentially report someone of any age they suspect is physically or mentally incapable of driving safely.
And these are heartfelt, and as she said, they are hard decisions, and they usually include the statement, "Don't tell him or her, my father or my mother, I did this."
The state then investigates and can ultimately take away the person's license. Last year, the program revoked 1,400 licenses, mostly elderly drivers. The Department of Motor Vehicles says it has several programs designed to get bad drivers off the road. But why do licenses of problem older drivers keep getting renewed? Well, the answer in a large part is the AARP. We're going to ask them the tough questions in part 2 of my special report tomorrow at 5:30.